I literally cannot go anywhere without cat fur all over my clothing. Okay, so I am on my way right now to pick up some books for reselling on eBay. So for those of you who don't know, I also have an eBay store where I resell some used books. Some of them are pretty rare books. And I go in and I pick those up from my supplier every now and again, and I bring them home and sort through them and list them up on eBay. So that's pretty much what today's vlog is going to be, or at least a part of it. If I don't have enough footage to make a whole video out of this, we will see. It is a rainy day, and I think it's going to take us a couple of hours to get to where we're going, and I will pick up about 440 books, and then whenever we get home, we'll go through them together, and I may do a little thrifting while I'm in the area where I am, because you know me. So yeah, stay tuned and we will catch up in a little bit.
A few moments later.
Okay, so I just wanted to update you guys a little bit. I don't have my headphones in, but I am listening to a dramatized version of Elantris Part 1 of 3 on Audible as we are driving. And I have some things I want to say about that. So some of you may know from previous vlogs that, or I think I may have mentioned it at least once on the channel, that I have tried to read Brandon Sanderson only once in my life, probably over 15 years ago, and I did try to read Elantris, and for some reason, according to my Goodreads, I gave it a 1 star, and I don't know why I gave it a 1 star. I didn't write a review or any kind of memo to remind myself why I would have done that, but apparently I did. I gave it a 1 star. So I'm thinking that I probably was just not into it, or I found the plot maybe a little bit confusing at the time. I don't know. And then due to that, I have never picked up another Brandon Sanderson again. So I decided that since Audible has this dramatized adaptation in 3 parts of Elantris, that I would pick it up. The first one is only 6.5 hours long or something like that. So I could get a good chunk of it done today on my 2-hour drive, maybe even finish the whole book today if I listen to it the whole day, because I'll be driving most of the time. But the reason I wanted to talk to you about this is because it's so good. It's so good. If you guys have read Elantris, I'm only at the part right now where Sereni, I think her name is, has gone to Raoden's funeral, and they've told her that he's died by some sort of coughing fit, kind of like probably what pneumonia would sound like to us. And she's not like totally buying it, because apparently her betrothed or her husband is really young and shouldn't have died. And anyway, if you guys have read Elantris, then you know exactly what is happening, but I don't. So I'm gonna stick with it today. But basically, I'm just gonna change the angle here because the car is rolling and we're bouncing everywhere. But basically, that's the part that I am at, and it's so good. And I don't know if it is because it is a dramatized adaptation of the novel that I'm finding it so good, with all the music and the sound effects and the different voices and stuff, but I'm quite sure that that has a lot to do with it. But also, like, I don't know why I didn't like this book to begin with. So I'm having a time right now. I'm making some discoveries that I didn't know about myself, and I just needed to share that with you all. So I am having my Brand-San awakening. Yes, give me all the pats on the back, like, subscribe, and yeah, I will let you know how this book is going. And if you guys have not heard of this dramatized adaptation, highly recommend so far, but that's just based on the performance, not the story itself, because I legit have no idea what's going to happen in the story, but the performance is fantastic. So yeah, stay tuned. I will get back to you when I have more info. So here we are at the first thrift store. You can see that they don't do anything by way of organizations. You really need to go through all of the shelves, and there will be some books that you guys could probably even recognize from your thrift stores that are just always at thrift stores on repeat. One of them that I found was 7 Days in June. This one almost looked like the top of it had been chewed off by someone's dogs. And the Sisters Brothers, I don't know, it's like every thrift store I ever go to has a copy of that book for some reason. Plus, this orange, green, red, and blue section over here had all these brand new books, which must have been from somebody's overstock or something. I can't imagine what else it would have been. And yeah, I just looked through everything there, didn't find anything of interest, and yeah, this place was kind of a bust. There was a Liane Moriarty here, but I don't know anything about this book, so I didn't pick that one up. Okay, so that thrift store, as you saw, was a bit of a bust. Right now, we are going to be heading to my contact where I'm going to be picking up the books that I purchased to resell on eBay. And yeah, then we're just going to maybe be able to take a sneak peek at the boxes. I always try to, but it's not so easy, and you'll see why. And then we'll have to probably just meet each other again at home, probably in the bedroom with some really bad lighting, because that's really the only space that I have, unless I can work up something else in terms of space for sorting. And yeah, we will sort the books together. So let's go pick them up.
A little longer than a few minutes later.
Okay, car is full. I have no idea what is in these boxes. There's going to be probably a lot of novels. Like, we can see that there's a lot of mystery thriller, things like that. But there's also some older ones. So I don't really know. We'll have to go through it together when we get home. But yeah, it's just to give you an idea. The car is full, and we're going to continue on with our day. And we will see you when it's time to unbox it all. So here we are at the second thrift store. The first thing that catches my eye is Grunt by Mary Roach, a copy that I leave behind because I happen to already own this copy, so it was not something I needed to add to my collection. And then I'm just going to slowly go around and see the rest of the books that are in the bin, see if there's anything of interest. There were a lot of kids' books there, a lot of pocketbooks as well. I don't really read too many pocketbooks, so I tend to stay away from them because I'm not really crazy about the formatting. I don't think I end up picking up anything on this table, but I do want to point out that there is a copy of the Da Vinci Code on that table, and we are going to see an appearance of the same title at least 3 other times in this vlog, just to give you guys an idea of how many copies of the Da Vinci Code end up at thrift stores or recirculating for a book that's about 20 years old or so. So I did find in this section a duplicate copy of a book that we already saw on the table, which I'll point out to you, I think, right now. And I didn't find anything there in this section organized by color. I went around to the other shelves. That entire wall on the left had all fiction books. This shelf here as well had all fiction books, lots of Danielle Steele. That is the price list. And then on this section, another copy of My Dark Vanessa was hiding from view. So I pulled that one out, but didn't buy it because I knew that my daughter would be upset with me if I did. This book by Britney Spears also was something that I read, and this book by Alan Doyle caught my interest, but ultimately I ended up leaving it behind. So no luck for me at this thrift store either.
12 seconds later.
So we are sitting in a tow truck cab right now. As we were coming home from the book haul, some guy turned left into a parking lot in the ongoing traffic lane and smashed into our car, basically. So we had a car accident. I should be showing you some photos on the screen right now to let you see a little more about what the front of the car looks like. But we are sitting in a CAA cab right now, getting driven back from Ottawa to Montreal. It's a nice 2.5 hour drive. So we're just chilling with the driver, who is super nice, and Eric is taking a well-deserved nap. We've had a bit of a shocker of an afternoon, so we're gonna get things sorted. I then have to go park my car, empty it, reload it into another car. We're talking about all those boxes, right, that we picked up. And so I don't think that I'm going to be doing the big unboxing of everything tonight. That's probably going to have to wait until tomorrow. So I'm going to take it easy for the evening, deal with this mess. Do you guys see that behind me? And I will catch you guys again tomorrow when I've had a couple of glasses of wine and I've rested, and I will check in with you and we will go through those boxes of books. All right. So wish me luck.
The next day.
Editing Zahava here. So I just had to insert this clip right here to tell you that when it rains, it pours. I had recorded the first bit of this unboxing and my battery died. The battery died on my camera and I had been recording, happily recording on and on, not realizing that my camera did not take any of the footage of the first part of this video. So unfortunately, you guys are going to have to wait to see that stuff until the end of this segment when we go through a few of the boxes, and then I will give you kind of an overview of everything that is in the eBay boxes. And I am so sorry that that happened because I had gone through quite a bit of books with you guys and it looks like none of that recorded. So we're going to pick up here from after the time that I changed my battery, and we're going to pretend that everything is nice and coherent and just sort of get back into the swing of things. Okay? Love you. You guys are amazing. All right, you guys, sorry, my battery died, so I don't know where we were, but I think I was showing you this sales Bible. It's brand new, but I don't do too well selling, at least in my store, business management, sales techniques, and things like that in terms of my books. Even sometimes when I'm giving the customer really good value because I'm putting like a few books in the same lot to sort of increase the hopefully increase the interest in them. They don't really do very well, so that one is probably going to end up going to the thrift store also. Okay, so we have here a bunch of books by Bill Bryson, so that could be a lot of books together. I've got something called Scary Smart, which is how the future of artificial intelligence and, something called Scary Smart, the future of artificial intelligence and how you can save our world. So I guess this is also nonfiction, which is pretty good for a blind book date as well, because I do get people that like to read nonfiction, not just historical. Okay, here is another one that comes up time and time again whenever I am thrifting. The thrift stores are overrun with copies of this book, and guess what? That one is going to end up there as well. Okay, this one here is massive and heavy, and it is a novel. It's translated from the original in French, so I have to do more research about this one because I don't know anything about it. So that's going to go in the novel pile. We've got the 10 Greatest Gifts I Give My Children, Parenting from the Heart. We have Calm, 4-step process designed specifically for women who worry. I don't do too well with the self-help books either, and generally if I don't think I can get at least a listing price of $12, I don't really list it on eBay. It's just not worth my time with their fees and everything. So this will probably end up at the thrift as well. Here's another one to add to the Bill Bryson pile, so good to know. We have Blackfoot Physics, the modern version of the Tao of Physics by F. David Pete. Nonfiction? I don't know. Again, more research is required, so I'll put that in this pile. We have another vintage paperback. Garlands and Wreaths. A hardcover novel. We've got adult-only pub jokes. That'll go to the thrift too. And a copy of the Da Vinci Code. And actually this is good because I have behind me, I don't know if you guys can see it on the shelf, probably not because there's way too much going on, but like if you look a little bit behind there, I have a copy of Angels and Demons and Inferno that are actually been bundled up together. So I will add that to increase the value and potentially interest because it'll be a hardcover lot, and I'll probably end up selling that for $22 maximum. And then hopefully somebody will be more interested in that lot of books once I add this one to it. So this is actually a good find, which I will hang on to. All right, so in the next box, I actually found volume 1 of this, so I'm going to do a little bit more research since I have volume 1 and volume 2, see if it's worth anything. They don't have the dust jackets, but also I have no idea who this author is, so I have to do some more research about that. This box here seems to be a box full of paperbacks, so I'm just going to go through them and give you a, let's see, we've got, here is a classic, a Penguin classic, The Grapes of Wrath. That's good for blind book dates. People look for classics, so I'm glad to have this one. That'll go in a different pile. Robert Ludlum, Stuart McBride. We have Joel Rosenberg and a Swiss fondue cookbook, which looks to be pretty vintage. So I'll put that with the, I had a cookbook pile. I don't know what happened to it. There it is. I found it. Okay. Ooh, we've got our first manga. So I don't read manga. I don't know anything about manga. I know that it opens the wrong way. But yeah, that'll probably end up at the thrift as well because I will not be able to resell that on its own. We have a couple of Roots of Rhythm books. That might be a cute lot for somebody. We've got some vintage hardcover books, which are cool as well. So I'll have a whole stack of these. So what do we have? We have We Were There. So this will be a nonfiction history. Pretty cool. Oh, a super old Sidney Sheldon. Guys, look at the cover of that one. That's really old. Very cool. Bass fishing. Potentially interesting. I'm going to look up comps for that one because that one might sell. Okay, here we go. We're starting to get into the doubles now. Okay, so I've got another hardcover copy of the Da Vinci Code. You know, they're not in the greatest condition, so I would have to see what I think might sell better. One of them looks like it might have been chewed up by a dog, so maybe even this one with the ugly sticker, maybe I could try removing the sticker to give the customer the best value. So sometimes I will get doubles. We've got Spencerville, another hardcover fiction, Diplomatic Immunity, hardcover fiction, J.B. Robb, Apprentice in Death, hardcover fiction. Okay, sometimes I'll get these. These are the Reader's Digest ones. This I'm going to give to the thrift. I'm not even trying to keep those. You can't give them away. Nobody wants them. That's going to the thrift. Trust me. This is, I don't know what this is. But it is signed by the author. It's signed by the author. So, political, I think. I don't know. I will have to look it up because it doesn't say quickly enough. Book about trust, I guess. But yeah, nonfiction, signed by the author. There may be some value in that. I'll have to check it out. The Post-American World, so that will be nonfiction. Something called Spellbinder, which is looking very vintage. We've got Ian Rankin. So this one is a trade paperback, possibly would be good for a blind book date. I think that I could sort of tolerate sending this, but I would have to clean it up a little bit because I'm not liking that there's a bit of stains on the cover. Here is a super vintage romance cover. Oh my God, hardcover romance. So the dust jacket is a little damaged, but you don't really see romance covers like this anymore. This is like the stuff that our mothers and grandmothers were reading. You know what I'm saying? So Kevin Trudeau, that's gonna go to the thrift. And then we have this one from Bernard Cornwell. I think that that one is also gonna end up at the thrift because I will not be able to resell it. So we have a few in this box that we are going to keep and a few that we are not gonna keep. But yeah, this is pretty much the triage process. Okay, let's see what else we have. There's certain ones that I know straight away I'm not going to keep. Like this one here is an English language, like a student handbook. I'm not going to keep that. I'm going to put that directly in the thrift box. Things like Italian cooking, Mexican cooking, at this value, unless I'm going to use them myself, probably I'm not going to end up keeping them. I'll keep them here for like the triage process, but probably I'll end up giving those to the thrift as well. This one I may try and resell. This is a hunting and fishing cookbook, so that one might have some interest. Sometimes I can also sell like I don't know, I don't really have such good luck on eBay with my book reselling. But here's some more like vintage paperbacks. On the Road by Jack Kerouac. That's a vintage paperback. This is the illegal rebirth of Billy the Kid. Again, vintage paperback. Pocketbook size. Okay, here's one that would be a good candidate for a blind book date, The Fault in Our Stars. This one has 0 cracks in the spine. It's very little wear to the cover. It does have this recess, which, some people kind of don't like, but for a blind book date, it would look super good. I'm happy with the quality of that one. I do also give paperbacks when I have them and they're not so damaged, such as this one. Here's another one. Ooh, what is this? Gordon R. Dixon, Masters of Everon. Is this sci-fi, you guys? Do you know that? Do you know if it is sci-fi or historical? It's got a really great cover. It's like totally vintage. It does say science up here. So I'm guessing it's probably a sci-fi. I'm going to keep a separate pile for this because where there's one, there's often more. So I'm going to check if there are more vintage sci-fi. So we will see. We will see. Actually, you know what? Here's another one. Same author. sci-fi. Here, can you guys see that? I'm trying to keep the glare off of the books for you. That's very cool. Okay, we have a Nora Roberts. We have here, this is How to Sell Anything to Anybody. That's going to be a thrift. Okay, Da Vinci Code, guys. This is the 3rd copy. This one here is a paperback. The Planet Beyond. Here's another vintage sci-fi. Now, I love these. I have to check if they're still printing them, because if they're not being printed anymore, they could sometimes be worth a lot of money to collectors. So this one is a really cool one. And then we have another vintage sci-fi. A fun-filled science adventure from Walt Disney Productions starring Ken Berry, Sandy Duncan, Harry Morgan, Roddy McDowell, and McLean Stevenson. The Cat from Outer Space. Wow. Okay, I definitely look. It's got a picture of it in the back. So yeah, I'm gonna look these up and see if they are worth anything, because vintage sci-fi, fun stuff. Fun stuff. Okay, we've got Executive Power. So this is a political thriller. That would probably also be a good blind book date. Change Management. Again, business strategies. We have The 8, which is a novel. So that's good. Okay, Frederick Forsyth. This is The Fist of God. How to Love Again, Moving from Grief to Growth. Thrift. Here's another Frederick Forsyth. This one is in an omnibus. It is The Day of the Jackal and the Dogs of War. So that could be cool to keep them together, try and sell them together to anyone who might want to read them. It wouldn't be too expensive, maybe around the $15 mark. Another sales tool, thrift. Okay, The Room Where It Happened. This is a White House memoir. Probably thrift, but I am going to check what the comps are on this one. Here is another. This one is about Gorbachev, a biography. And then we have an Ian Rankin thriller here. So as you guys can see, it is a very vast array and a wide variety of books that I have to sort of sort through here. Let's pull the next one. Let's pull it into frame. Okay, let's see if we can go through it. Let's start at the top. We've got a book here by Ken Follett. So I think this is not a direct sequel to, but takes place a little bit later than the Pillars of the Earth series. So probably it's going to be a thrift book because it's not in the greatest condition to be able to blind book date it. So that one's going to go. So this is another political, historical nonfiction about corruption in the government during the Mulrooney years. So we'll be comping that one to see if anyone is interested. We have Blowout, a riveting thriller by the authors of The Glass Inferno. It says it's a thriller. It's kind of vintagey, but again, a pocketbook. World Atlas, not in great condition. That's going to the thrift. So this is a Canadian publication, and this one I'm actually going to be comping. It is a second print, so probably it was run in a very, very small book lot. It has to do with the logging and the history of logging here in Canada and Ottawa, and yeah, so just that's just what I was able to see. Yeah, the Ottawa Valley and the logging industry there. So I think that this one might have some resale value. I have to, again, I haven't looked up any of these things, so that's going to be my project for whenever we're done unboxing everything, because and that is another reason why I wanted to do this unboxing with you guys right away, because I don't want the whole day to go by and then I lose all that time because I'm not, you know, comping and like looking everything up. Okay, so we have a Chris Hadfield. This one is going to go to the thrift. I'm just going to check first and make sure it isn't signed, because you never know. But if it is not, and it doesn't look like it is, no offense to Chris Hadfield, but there are so many of his books that are at the thrift stores already, and it's not something that I'm willing to pay square footage to store. So that's going to go to the thrift as well. Ow, I just banged my elbow. Oh, it's sharp and not comfortable. Okay, Diary of a Manhattan Call Girl. I would probably blind book date this, but it's not in great condition and I will not be able to resell it. So that's going to the thrift. No! No, no, no! It happened again. It happened again, you guys. So I actually have, if you guys were here for the TBR
tour that I did, like all of my unread books, I actually have a hardcover copy of Snow Crash. I hate when I get books that I already have, especially if I haven't read them, because it's kind of like I could give this as a blind book date, except it's just got this like little tiny little fold here. So let me know what you guys think. I'm gonna hang on to this until I publish this video, and you let me know if you had to pay $8 for a blind book date. Would this bother you? Because like I don't think it would bother me. The rest of the book is in really, really good shape. There's nothing wrong with the back or the spine. It's just this tiny little fold here. I'm looking for permission, you guys, because I don't think that I would, you know, in another world, I would probably trade. This is trade paperback format. So I guess technically I could take my brand new gorgeous hardcover copy and swap it out for this one, read this one myself, and, you know, just try and resell my hardcover copy. But yeah, I mean, I hate when I have them already. I much prefer if it's, oh, I always wanted to read that book, and then I kind of hoard it from this haul, but that's not happening with this one. So far, there's two. There's Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell, which I already have, and there's Snow Crash, which I already have, neither of which I read. So I guess that's how it happens. That's how it goes. That's how it goes. Okay, so Sandra Brown. Sure, I'm going to find more Sandra Brown in here. We've got Die With Me by Elena Forbes. This is a Mark Tartaglia mystery. So this one actually says it's signed by the author. Elena Forbes. There it is, you guys. Can you see? Can you see? It's right up there. I hope it's going to come into focus for you. That's maybe better if I hide it. Yeah, so it is signed. I'll see if that's worth any money. Never know. We've got, what else do we have here? A whole bunch of hardcovers. Let's see. Take them all out because this, okay, so Lowell Green, this is going to the thrift. That is not staying here, that's for sure. I will never, we've got Hoodwinked and Lowell Green. Oh, it's a whole lot. But you know, the thing is, it's not going to move. And I know it's not going to move. So I'm not going to pick, because I already have some Lowell Green in storage and that's not moving. So all of this is going to go. It's going to go. I have, it also comes with this one. Oh my God, there's so many of it. Look, you guys, like, all this is all Lowell Green, but the problem is I know it's not going to move. So I am definitely taking that to the thrift. We may have cats. We may have cats in boxes in this video. That may be happening. Okay, so Lowell Green, that is all going. I'm not even going to waste time on that. Okay, we have It Happened One Christmas. That's okay. I think I would blind book date this one. I certainly know that I would never read it. It's not my type of book to read. We have The German Girl, a novel. Again, could be a possible blind book date. There's only a little bit of a fold on the cover. Nothing too offensive. Front Desk. I'm not going to hang on to this one. That's going to go to the thrift. We have Rendering with Pen and Ink. So I will check the comps on this one to see if it is worth anything. I'll put that one over there with the hobbies. Okay. These are going to be, this is a perfect example of two spice books that I would list as blind book dates that are probably written as part of the same series as standalone novels. So you may have characters that cross over from one book into the next, but each book should be, I'm going to do some research because I'm just assuming this, but each book should be written as a standalone novel. So if there's 4 or 5 or 6 or even 11, they should be able to be read in any order. So I'm going to confirm that, but the spice books that I sell as blind book dates do really well for me. Anytime I list them, they sell out within a week. So if I can get spice books, I'm super happy with that. I'm gonna keep those, hang on to those. Now I'm being surrounded by cats, not just books. Okay, so I thought that we would have some more sailing books, and we do. That's how it tends to happen. You see what's happening here? This is a fur puff, and right now, you guys can't see it because I don't have my phone, but there's cats like down here. Okay, I'm gonna put the sailing book down here. Jonathan Livingston Seagull, that's like very, very, very shiny. Okay, not pleasant for anybody. I'm going to hang on to that one as well. What do we have here? We have Feng Shui Book of Cures. We have A Walk to Remember pocketbook. That might be a good blind book date. We will see. Okay, we have Eating Animals, okay, Eating Animals, author of Everything is Illuminated. What is this? Is this a fiction? A nonfiction? Nonfiction, I think. Yeah, so Eating Animals, this is a nonfiction, so I'm going to hang on to that one as well. It is a Heather's pick. Okay, what is this? World Cruising Routes. Okay, so that is going in the pile of sailing. I think we have a lot of books on sailing. Okay, this is Successful Quilting. I will check the comps on that. There's a good chance that I might be able to sell that. We've got Len Dighton, Mexico set, so that'll be a pocketbook as well. We've got, what else do we have here? This is Gay Life and Culture, A World History. This one I will definitely check the comps on because I feel like that probably I could resell for a little bit of money. I don't know how much. I'm going to check. Vegetarian, the slow cooker vegetarian, that's going to the thrift. That will have zero resale value. That I know right away. Okay, and then we have a bunch of books on interior design. So this one here is interior design. The Colored Pencil. Then we have Perspective Without Pain. I'm a very bad artist, so all of this is causing me pain. We have Practical Printmaking. All interior design stuff. It's like somebody took an interior design course and then like donated all their textbooks. Laura Ashley Complete Decorating. That's pretty cool. And then lastly, we have in this box, Louise Nevelson, Atmospheres and Environments. So I guess this too would be kind of like an interior design type book. Not being a student of art, I have no experience with this stuff, so it's not going to be something for me, but I can definitely put these ones back in the box because it will just be easier to move everything around now that I know what's inside of this one. Okay, so I'm enlisting help from my daughter to move the boxes out of the way a little bit. Okay, what do we have here? Philip Pullman, His Dark Materials. This is an omnibus of like a bunch of different titles. Let's see what else. General Rick Hillier, Leadership, Thrift. Thomas Harris Hannibal. There's a good chance I will be able to sell this one, so I'm going to hang on to it. I have sold it before. We have Asian Cooking. That's going to go to the thrift. We have Colorful Personalities. Discover your personality type through colors. Thrift. Okay. All these body books, like Body for Life, body dieting stuff, they never sell for me. Those are going to the thrift. I'm not even going to waste too much time about it. Okay, we have The Girl Who Played with Fire. I feel like I had another copy of this, which probably went into the thrift books. Okay, it's going to end up at the thrift also because I've had these books before and they never sell. So, thrift.
That's a thrift box.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's a thrift box. Okay, Dr. Siegel's Cookie Diet. I feel like fad diets, I don't even want to give that the square footage. So that's going to go to the thrift as well. Let me see what else I have here. I'm going to empty this box. Okay. I am not interested in holding on to fad diets. The Harrowsmith Reader. This might be for like someone who wants to collect things. I don't know. So I'm going to hang on to that one and see if it's worth anything. Same for this antiques book. There could be some information there that people are looking for. All right, we have another box here of paperbacks, and they seem to be a lot of vintage paperbacks. Guys, oh my God, this is so creepy. This is so creepy. It is called The Visitor by Jerry Cunningham. It looks like Jerry Cunningham, J-E-R-E, Jerry probably, I don't know. Oh my God, look how creepy this thing is. Okay, you have nothing to fear. It doesn't want you, it wants your child. It escapes screaming from the tortured souls caged in the exclusive sanitarium where Frank Merritt works. It glides like a shadow from its hell through the glass walls of Ginny Merritt's new home, chilling her with the touch of an evil unspeakable. It goes to Bobby's room. It loves children. Okay, I will be comping this one for sure, because that is freaky deaky. Okay, we have Alex, blazing novel of white slavery's savage passion and burning romantic love. I'm dying with the covers of these, you guys. Some Westerns, also in the vintage paperback. We've got a The Empty Chair copy, more vintage paperback. I knew we were going to have a lot of those. Not vintage. That one was not vintage, but we are going to have a lot of those. Here's another one. The Unauthorized Biography of Frank Sinatra. I feel like that's a thrift. Okay, what else do we have? We've got Webb Griffin. We've got Eagles Fly. That's got a really cool cover. So that's another vintage one. The Black Rose. A mystery. So many vintage titles. What else do we have? And you can tell because, okay, so we have An Interview with the Vampire. That's gonna go to the thrift. I don't think I'll hang on to that one because there's so many of Interview with the Vampire. Arch White House Squadron 44. It's like almost falling apart, but it's got like this super vintage look to it as well. So that's pretty cool. Presumed Innocent. This whole box is okay. We've got a lot here. Let me just grab them. Okay, what do we have? Oh, here's another one with a really cool cover. It's called Shapes. I have to do some more research to find out what that one is about. More paperbacks. Philip Margolin and Linda Fairstein. I never know how they pronounce their names. 7 Long Times by Perry Thomas. Another kind of weird looking vintage one. Alcatraz, probably another prison one, which is vintage. And Mandingo, you guys. Check out the cover. Maybe I shouldn't be laughing, but these things, I don't know why. They make me laugh. I think it's the cover art. Okay, Boris Starling, Storm. That could be potentially a blind book date, so that's pretty cool. Judith Krantz, I'll Take Manhattan. That's probably going to go to the thrift because I don't have any more Judith Krantz. Then we have another one, which is kind of freaky deaky. This is called The Sentinel. We have Oliver's Story, another vintage one. Oh my goodness, so many. Okay, The Singapore Wink. We've got the new Robert's Rules of Order. So that's like English language. That's going to the thrift. Comanche Revenge. Check out these like covers, you guys. Check out the covers. So much vintage. Okay. This, I feel like, thrift. Okay, what else do we have here? Okay, so this is a sequel to The Exorcist. I don't know, it's like really shiny. I don't want to shine it on you, but this is a sequel to The Exorcist. It might be worth something. I don't know. I have to check. Okay, there's more stuff. This is the OR. This is a nonfiction. It's like a memoir of a nurse. I think that's what I read. But then we have like a whole bunch of Westerns, all vintage. We have something called Iberia, Spanish Travels and Reflections. So memoir, I guess. Memoir. What else do we have? Oh my goodness, there's so much here. Okay. If you're still here, by the way, thank you so much. Why are you here? Maybe you're cleaning your house or something, but it's fantastic that you're here. Thank you so much for being here and hanging out with me while we do this. Like, subscribe. All right, we've got more Westerns, more vintage stuff. Wilbur Smith, Rage. So that's a thriller. We have some Jack Higgins, some Thomas Fleming. So this will be historical fiction. Michael Stewart, Guns for Garcia. Earthquakes, Splendid Executioners, so mystery thrillers. Okay, not doing a good job of showing you guys all of this, but there's like a lot of Westerns and vintage books. I've got to sort through it all. That's what it comes down to. I've got to sort through it all. This is Warming Planet and Delicious, Quick, and Healthy Recipes. So again, the recipe books, I will probably just donate them because I don't do too well to resell them. So yeah, let's get to the next boxes. It's so heavy. It's so heavy. It's hurting me right now. The Cat Who Came for Christmas, The Miracle Game. These are ones that will go to the thrift because they're not in good enough condition to resell. So that's going to the thrift. The Charlotte Armstrong Festival, 3 great novels of suspense. It's got actually a price tag on it of 95 cents. Thrift. Okay, we have Since Silent Spring. I don't know what this is. Political, I think. I'm going to look it up. Okay, we've got On the Edge, story of a fighter pilot from World War II. Merritt's looking into a little bit more. We have a book for home training your dog. That's going to the thrift. We have Jean Care, Please Don't Eat the Daisies. Awesome photo on the back. I'm going to look up this one. Sometimes I just get a feeling that I want to investigate a little bit more. A Year on the Killing Streets, Homicide by David Simon, which also happened to be my grandfather's name, but this is not my grandfather. But that was his name when he was alive. So yeah, I'm gonna look into that as well. Connolly's Life, a novel, a vintage novel. Again, another vintage novel. Okay, here, this is cool. We have 3 volumes of the Strain trilogy. We have book 1, book 2, and book 3 of the Strain. So that could be something cool to resell. I'm going to hang on to that one. We have another super cool cover that I am really hoping is going to be worth something. So I'll have to look that one up. It's called Ghoul by Michael Slade. I'm liking it. We have Outlaws, which is also a novel with a vintagey cover. Sometimes it's worth it to look these things up on eBay to see what they're comping for, because collectors will try and collect out of print covers as well. So it doesn't even matter necessarily the quality of the dust jacket I have found, because people will be looking for that. Okay, this can go straight to the thrift. Got a couple of more pocketbooks in here. Tammy Hogue, A Thin Dark Line, the Genesis Code. Yeah, so there's some stuff here that could work for blind book dates. That's good. I always like that. Okay, we've got some Reader's Digest. That's going to the thrift. I'm not keeping that. I don't even bother looking at those. It just goes from one box to another. It's going to leave my house. There's nobody in the world wants Reader's Digest. If you do, if you have Reader's Digest, let me know in the comments below, because nobody wants that ever. Okay, so we have The Immediate Prospect of Being Hanged. It is a novel. I've never heard of it. We have The Listening Ones, another hardcover novel. Never heard of these. And we have something called Link, which I think is possibly a sci-fi. Sorry for the glare, you guys. I'm trying to control it. I think it's possibly a sci-fi. I have to look this one up. But so far, so good. So that is that box. Now I will start a new thrift box with this empty box, and I will keep going. The cover, I'm dying. Thrift. That's going. Okay, we've got a whole other box of mass market paperback here. Peter Straub, Stephen Martini, Peter Straub again. So one of them is mystery, one of them is Lost Boy, Lost Girl. We have Steve Martini here. Robert R. McCammon, Mystery Walk. Horror. Horror might be good. Horror sells pretty well for me as a blind book date if the book is in good condition. We have Coco by Peter Straub. So there's a few of them. I'm going to be able to bundle all of these together, which is great. Robert McCammon, same thing. I've got more than one. Steve Martini, I have seen... I pretty much get a copy of Critical Mass every single time I get one of these eBay book hauls. So that is... I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do with all of these paperbacks, but I'm going to give you guys like an overview after we are done looking through everything. Then I have The Honor Farm. Looks like it is a novel as well. I'm starting to run out of space. I'm going to have to move my piles back a little bit more. We have a Robin Cook. Oh, this is cool. I actually have another Robin Cook book in my office on that other shelf there. I think it's Moonbound, Moonscape. I'm not really sure what it's called, but I will let you guys know or put a picture here next to me. So I may hang on to this one to read myself because it's an author I recognize, but it's not a book that I have. So this one gets its own pile in the I'm going to keep it pile, which is right over there. Okay, next thing that I have is Bats Out of Hell. Awesome cover. Awesome cover. I don't know anything. This is Barry Hannah. What is this? This is Love and Torment, Lunacy and Desire, Tenderness and War. The stories in Bats Out of Hell provide brilliant, dazzling odyssey into American life. Is this a short story collection? Is it? It is! Oh my god, I love a short story collection, you guys. I don't know if you can see that. It is. Oh, that is fun. Okay, so a man is possessed by the spirit of an 18th century noblewoman every time he plays chess. A crippled boy yearns for brotherhood, dreaming and spinning lies to one another. A group of old men wait for death. No one but Barry Hannah could create this vivid world and explore the nature of lust, captivity, and love in marriage. This is interesting. I'm going to hang on to this one. Let me know if you guys have read it. We have a Million Little Pieces. That's going to be a blind book date. I'm going to hang on to that. Shakespeare's Julius Caesar. That's going to the thrift. We have this big old The Mystery book, which is looking very witchy. Very, very witchy. So I am going to, it's like witchy and falling apart. I'm going to look this one up. Comes free with cat hair. Further research is required on that title. Okay, we have Malcolm Gladwell's Outliers. Okay, so I've actually read this one. I'm not going to hang on to it. It's really hard to show you guys a white book for some reason. But this is really good. If you guys have never read this book, I highly recommend. I love things that Malcolm Gladwell writes. I always have a good time. So yeah, it's going to end up going to the thrift just because it's not in the greatest condition, and I don't really need to keep a copy of it for myself because I did listen to it on audio, but it's not something that even at 20 cents I would want to keep. So that's going. The Alchemy of Illness, I'm going to look into that further because it's in like brand new condition. So I'm going to hang on to it for now. The Funniest Cartoons of All Time, that's going to the thrift. Okay, what else? Oh, more Robert McCammon, but this one here is also like a super vintagey one, which is kind of cool. So, yeah, and here's another one. So I'll definitely make a lot of that. And then there's more Steve Martini. So I could probably make like a little, maybe a sci-fi thriller lot and see if that goes anywhere. Okay, we've got, this one doesn't have a dust jacket. So I try not to send blind book dates that don't have dust jackets. I will look this one up, but it'll probably end up going to the thrift. We have Evil Eye by Michael Slade, Canada's master of horror. That's something I'm going to require more investigation with. I'm going to look into that. We have Unsinkable, the full story of the RMS Titanic. So that one could be interesting as well to just look up comps. That's going to go to the thrift. I think that I'm making a good decision on that point. Okay, so next box. We have, okay, more sailing stuff. So I want to keep that all together. I can see it right here. This is a, okay, Nora Roberts. That could be a good blind book date. I'm going to keep that one here. Perennials. Here is a second copy of the Nicholas Sparks thing. Okay, we've got Jeffrey Deaver, The Testament by John Grisham. We have The Rights of Man. That's going. This is going to the thrift. This is going to the thrift. This is going to the thrift. All this. Thrift. Okay, Sandra Brown in a hardcover. I'm going to hang on to that. This could be a blind book date. I'm going to keep this. Okay, we have The History of England. This is going to go to the thrift mostly just due to its size because they're really hard to pack up and ship. So I'm not going to hang on to that. That's going to be awkward. Gibbon's Decline and Fall of the Roman Empire going to the thrift. Not hanging on to that one. Mafia Assassin in a vintagey cover. I will look this one up before deciding if I'm going to keep it or give it away. We have Confessions of a Comma Queen. This is going to be probably a memoir biography type of thing from the looks of it. Dictionaries I don't keep, and this kind of self-help I don't really keep. So that was easy so far. We have more Bill Bryson, you guys. More Bill Bryson. So I don't know what happened to the pile of Bill Bryson. It kind of disappeared on me. But there's more. There's more of that. Okay, The Secret Daughter. This one is going to go to the thrift because it's water damaged. I can feel that. So we're not keeping that. Patricia Cornwell, Portrait of a Killer, Jack the Ripper. I don't know. I'll look into it. I don't know if that's worth anything. We have The Lost Symbols. So this is something I can definitely add to my Dan Brown lot and increase the value for the customer. So that's great. Okay, Meyer Lansky, Mogul of the Mob. So he would have worked with like Al Capone and that kind of thing. So there may be people looking to grab a copy of this book. I will see if there's any interest in it before I decide if I'm going to list it or get rid of it. And then there is Lawrence Sanders, again, with a vintagey cover. This is a hardcover. So I will see what the comps are on those. Okay, so here is one that I'm definitely going to blind book date because I know that this one is going to sell super fast. Or I may potentially check what the comps are on eBay, but this one is probably going to resell pretty well. So I'm happy about that. We have some more John Grisham, some more paperbacks, John Grisham, Tom Clancy. I'll have to sort of organize all of this together. This is the Reformation, Will Durant. No, that is going to the thrift. Douglas Adams, The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. This will be a really fun blind book date for somebody, so I will definitely be keeping that one. Crepes and Cupcakes. That's a cookbook. That's not staying. Managerial Accounting, 6th edition. Gone. That is not staying. Okay, we have, what is this? Some big books here. Lobbies and Offices Design. So these are 2 more interior design books, which I'll probably end up putting on eBay as part of a big lot of interior design things. So that's going to go over here. And let's do this next one. Oh, okay, more paperbacks. So I may be able to create a lot of Dan Brown in the paperbacks. I'm just going to throw my slippers there because they're kind of getting in my way right now. Okay, more paperbacks. Fairy Tale, Raymond E. Feist. If this is a standalone, I'm going to hang on to this one because I've never read Raymond E. Feist before, but I know that he's a fantasy author, so I'm going to look up this one a little more and see if it's something that I might want to read. Pelican Brief, again, John Grisham, so we're going to have probably a lot of John Grisham here. Yep, we do. We have The Firm. There's a Michael Crichton here. This one is Eaters of the Dead. There's more John Grisham here. Lots of John Grisham. Michael Connelly. Here's another, it's giving The Shining a little bit, the cover on this one, you know? This is The Spawning. They were the children of her demon lover. Interesting. I'm going to be looking up those ones for sure. Okay, we have some Robin Cook. I feel like I've seen Robin Cook in this pile before. Tom Savage, Michael Slade. Here's some true crime. That always does well as a blind book date. Here's something else which has kind of a creepy cover called Shrine. Then Final Diagnosis also could do well as a blind book date potentially. So again, I try and look up if it's part of a series, if I can actually sell that without disturbing anybody. We have a vintage copy of Hoffa Wars. Greg Isles, Mickey Spillane. Oh my God. You guys, you have to see this. I will give you an overhead shot at the end. Okay, John J. Nance and Edward Rutherford, London, the novels. So a couple of more paperbacks here. I am super out of space, you guys. Super out of space. The Shoemaker, The Anatomy of a Psychotic, the shocking true story of a split personality and his horrifying secret life of rape and murder, best-selling author of Sybil. So this would be true crime, vintage, which is interesting. Okay, then we have some Heather Graham, some Iris Johansson, and some Debbie McCormer. More paperbacks. Okay, let's see. We're almost to the end, you guys. I have, no, we're not. But you know what? Like, I still have 3 or 4 boxes left. I don't know if you guys want to go through it all with me. And I'm not sure that I want to edit a video this long. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to call the video quits here. I'm going to go through the rest of the boxes by myself. If there's anything interesting that I find that I want to show you guys, I will show it to you in another video, because I think you guys, if you're still here, it is amazing that you've come to hang out with me while I sort through all of these books. I really, really appreciate it. Yeah, I want to give you an overview. I want to give you guys an overview of what my living room looks like right now with the piles of books that we've been creating together today. Yeah, and you know, there's a couple of more boxes. Like all these boxes here, I'm going to have to repack because they're all going to be going to the thrift. And these are all the boxes here that I've not had a chance to go through with you guys today. I don't actually want to keep you here because I feel like super bad for taking up so much of your time already. And I'm really happy that you guys decided to come and hang out with me today. Oh my God, the glare. The glare is terrible. Okay, but I do want to thank you if you have come to hang out with me while I sort through all of these boxes. I am going to go through the rest of them on my own because otherwise, like I said, it's going to take forever. Anything interesting I find, I will put aside and show you guys in the next vlog. Thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you again in the next one. Ciao for now.